Welcome back to Caker 101. Today's lesson, how to make rosettes on the sides and top of a cake. What you'll need for this is a ready to go cake, so something that you've already stacked, filled, crumb coated, a piping bag full of the buttercream of your choice, and a Wilton 1M piping tip, which is a large star open piping tip. So if you're not familiar with what a rosette is, I'll pipe one onto my counter and scrape it off just so you can see exactly what that is and how you should be holding your piping bag. So what I like to do is take my piping bag and twist it closed, and then with my thumb and my index finger, or my pointer finger, I clamp that bag inside there, take this extra part of the bag, and kind of just fold it around my hand so it's not flapping behind me. And that also ensures that if there's any buttercream that starts to seep out the backside, it's not going to be able to go far because I've kinked off the bag. So with my piping bag, obviously if I'm doing the sides, I'm going to be holding it straight out from the cake itself. But where I'm demoing it on the counter for a second, you want to hold your bag straight up and down. You start in the middle of your rosette, so you're going in a circular pattern, and you want to, with even constant pressure, start squeezing and just go around. And once you make one full circle, pull away so the buttercream separates from your bag. So your second one, you're gonna go center in a circle. And a little tail is okay as well because it helps hide the previous rosette. So again, holding my bag straight up and down from my work surface, I'm going to squeeze constantly, go around, and cut off the tail. So that's a basic rosette. So let me just scrape this off of my counter and back into my bowl because I can certainly reuse that. And now for your cake. So what you want to do, again, I use when I do this, so you can either take your palette knife or your offset spatula and mark lines so that you know how many rosette layers you're going to have. I just use the layers of cake, so I can still see them through my crumb coat, so I'm going to use those as my guide. Taking the piping bag and holding it straight out from the cake. Let me come around this side. Holding it straight out from the cake, I'm going to start squeezing in the center and work my way around and cut my tail off. So again, now I gotta hide that tail, so I'm gonna go in the center, squeeze, and cut the tail off. Center, squeeze and around, and cut that off. Center, around, squeeze, and cut that off. You're just going to repeat this process the whole way around. So what I'm also doing is as I start running out of buttercream, my hand needs to move down the bag. So just move your hand, squish that buttercream down, reposition the bag, because now I have all this empty bag. Put that around there so the buttercream doesn't fall out. And again, just finish off the tier, or the layer, sorry. Now I'm moving up to the next layer. So I like to start between the previous rosettes in an offset pattern. So I take my first one and go for where my center is and go around, and that fills in any holes and gaps. I'm just going in a circular pattern. Oh, we have the air pocket there. That's okay. The beauty of buttercream, we can take an offset palette knife and we can pull that rosette right off of there and start again. So, in the center, no one's any the wiser. So I need to refill my bag because I don't have enough buttercream in there now. So again, as you've seen in a previous video on how to fill your piping bag, I'm just going to fold down my bag over my hand. So even though this was already used, I can still refill it. And I'm just going to press that buttercream down inside. And this rosette that kind of messed up on us. So again, only put in the bag what you're comfortable with squeezing out. Too much buttercream, and you're not going to be able to squeeze with consistent pressure. So press that buttercream all in there. Now, I do have some buttercream. The beauty of buttercream, we can take an offset palette knife, and we can pull that rosette right off of there and start again. So, in the center, no one's any the wiser. So I need to refill my bag because I don't have enough buttercream in there now. So again, as you've seen in a previous video on how to fill your piping bag, I'm just going to fold down my bag over my hand. So even though this was already used, I can still refill it. And I'm just going to press that buttercream down inside. And this rosette that kind of messed up on us. So again, only put in the bag what you're comfortable with squeezing out. Too much buttercream, and you're not going to be able to squeeze with consistent pressure. So press that buttercream all in there. Now, I do have some buttercream a little bit from here down left from the previous fill, so I'm actually going to squeeze all that out to make sure I don't end up with a big air blowout while I'm piping the rosettes. All right, so now we can just pick up where we left off and go in the center and work around, center and work around. And there you have that row. So again, now I'm going to go up to the top row and I'm going to finish off the cake. So going between my previous rosettes. So this part of the video is slightly sped up. You've seen the process several times. So I'm just going between each of the previous rosettes, working my way around until the sides of the cake are completely covered in the rosette buttercream. And then we're going to move on to the top. Same process on the top. I'm just going to start between the rosettes and I'm going to work my way from the outside in. Another blowout. Don't worry, we have a handy dandy, trusty offset. We can just pull that back off and start over. It's nothing to get all worked up. So again, we'll start right here and work our way around the cake until we finish. Got to do a bag refill one more time. Again, I'm only working with as much buttercream in the bag as I know that I can handle. If I were to go and try and fill this to have enough buttercream in it to do the whole cake, I'd struggle a lot with the actual piping. So I'm just putting in what I know I can work with, and I just refill as I need. There's no need to try and overdo it, hurt your hand, get a big old hand cramp, and then there's nothing you'll be able to do for the rest of the day. So there you have it. A fully rosette cake. You can do this on one tier, you can do this on a multi-tier cake, but it's a very simple, stunning end result. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Caker 101. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.